if you are one of those people who reached out to me to offer feedback, to offer suggestions, I am so grateful to you. My audience is the actual best. I wouldn't do this work if I weren't serving people who I genuinely love. I like to be around you. I like to talk to you. I like to hear what you're reading. I like to hear your suggestions. Like, you are just incredible to me. So just thanks. Thanks so much. Welcome to the Sunlight Tax Podcast. In this show, we're talking about taxes, money, and careers for self-employed people who have a big vision for changing the world with their work. I'm your host, Hannah Cole, artist, design nerd, tax pro, author of Taxes for Humans, and the founder of Sunlight Tax. If you're a creative, wellness, or mission-driven entrepreneur who wants to grow your business sustainably, manage your taxes, and build a stash of fuck you money so you can control your time and have a bigger impact with your work, you are in the right place. Hey, gorgeous. So happy that you're here with me. All right, so if you have listened to the podcast the last time, you've been on a bit of a journey with me, and I just thought, let's bring it all the way through and give you the update on how I am moving through a difficult moment in business and how is this relevant for you? I know this may be a time that for you is difficult in business. You may be finding that people are feeling very unsteady, unable to make big moves in their business because the economic and political environment feels uncertain. Maybe it's just a sense of like the news being like a fire hose and feeling a sense of overwhelm. I think we're all feeling a little oversaturated and overwhelmed these days. So I want to model for you how I am moving through that, moving through some, frankly, really bad news in my business and also just hard feelings. But this is the journey of entrepreneurship. And to be totally honest with you, as much as it is hard, the feelings part of it, and damn, is it hard. I think it is one of the most interesting paths I've ever been on. And I would not give it up because ultimately, having a small business is about solving people's problems, is about meeting a need. And I think getting feedback, sometimes negative feedback, because people don't join your program, don't buy your product, sometimes that means you have to make some changes. And so that has happened to me, partly because of things beyond my control, partly because of things in my control, partly just because of ways that people's behavior is shifting. And this may be happening in your business. So come on this journey with me today. Let me talk you through where I've been adjusting things in my program, and let this be a way for you to learn maybe some things you might want to be doing in your business, or just watch me go through a hard time and hopefully come out the other side. All right. I'm recording this podcast late. I am about to get on a plane to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I have a book event in Fayetteville, Arkansas, at Pearl's Bookstore this Sunday. If you're listening on Tuesday, you've already missed it, but maybe I saw you in Arkansas. Also going to visit my dear, dear friend Peter, who started a law clinic at the University of Arkansas, and so I'm super excited to just give him a hug, meet his new baby, see what incredible work my friend Peter is up to. And I'm going to be talking to artists in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm doing an all-day multiple workshops for a really cool arts granting organization in Tulsa. So, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Fayetteville, Arkansas, these are places I've never been to before. So we're going to see, a new part of the country. And I'm really excited for that. So it's late at night. I'm trying to get a lot of stuff done before I get on a plane, and I'm a little bit out of my usual routine. So I am recording in darkness, drinking a beer, really nice local IPA, which is my jam. So this is a little more unhinged Hannah that you're getting here tonight. All right, let's talk about it. First, if you have been listening to this podcast, thank you. You are probably the most core supporter that I have, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that you're here with me. I'm grateful that you're listening. I feel like you're part of my community. So thanks for being here. I wrote a newsletter that was really vulnerable. My launch in January, just to give you the quick summary, my launch in January did not do, I made about a quarter of the sales that I normally would. January is my big month. It tends to be my largest launch of the year. And it tends to, provide the cash flow that I then run my business on for the next 6 to 8 months. So having had that not happen this January was very scary. It really kind of brought me an intense amount of fear. And I think it told me some things, right? The market has shifted. People are feeling differently right now. The political environment is frankly something I can't control, but I do need to operate within and am wondering how to move forward. And just on a personal level, I will mention that, I'm not a catastrophist by nature. But I did 1 year ago experience an actual catastrophe. My studio and 20 years of my art was destroyed in Hurricane Helene. And I'm afraid what I experienced was not simply a response to the objective facts, but PTSD from losing everything in my art and just a feeling that, oh my God, I'm going to lose everything in sunlight tax, right? That is not true. That was my PTSD talking. I am learning new things about grief and traumatic loss as I go here, so thanks for bearing with me. But, I've done what I need to do, talk to friends, talk to my coach, work through some stuff. And for all of you who reached out with words of kindness, words of support, and just thoughts, which I solicited about what you are looking for now, I'm so grateful to you. So thank you. If you are one of those people who reached out to me to offer feedback, to offer suggestions, I am so grateful to you. Thank you. My audience is the actual best. I wouldn't do this work if I weren't serving people who I genuinely love. I like to be around you. I like to talk to you. I like to hear what you're reading. I like to hear your suggestions. Like, you are just incredible to me. So just thanks. Thanks so much. So let me model how I'm getting back up again after a bad business outcome. And let's talk about next steps, because you know what? I'm excited again. I feel, I have some fear. I have some fear in my heart. These are difficult times. But the thing that I think is a strength is I really want to solve your problem. I'm looking to serve my people in the best way that I possibly can and meet the moment, meet you where you are now. That's really difficult because it means I have to make some adjustments and change some things and also message how I'm changing those things, right? That's also hard. In fact, I've actually made a lot of these changes already before January, but I realized I wasn't talking about them very clearly. And I think I've sent messages that are a little old and maybe not as up to date as what's actually in my program. And so, hey, I'm taking the time, doing some work, rewriting all of my invitations, my webinar, my class to serve you better, to meet you where you're at. All right. So in January, this launch that was very difficult, it happened a couple days after Alex Preddy was murdered in Minneapolis. And of course, that was days after Renee Good. And so, everyone, myself included, was feeling very shaky, right? Just like, oh my God, what is happening to our country? It feels like martial law. Things felt really, really bad and also just existentially dreadful, right? So I think a lot of people, more than usual, were feeling overwhelmed and not ready to make any big moves because it just felt like this country was unstable there for a minute, right? So that's the thing I can't control. I'm a surfer riding the waves. I can control my moves, my skills, my surfboard, but I cannot control the ocean. I just have to surf to the best of my ability, right? But the thing that I find really interesting about running a business, something that I love so much, and it's actually the reason that I love teaching money and love teaching taxes, is because although we may have feelings about them, numbers do not lie. There is some objective truth that you can get at when you look at the numbers. And to me, one of those objective truths, though it was a hard one, was you are not meeting the moment to the degree that you need to right now. And it's time to make some changes. You can go to ChatGPT and you can let it flatter you, right? But the numbers aren't flattering. The numbers aren't there to flatter you. They're to say, oh, hey, the check engine light is on and you need to fix this. Right? It's actually something that I love about business because I care about the honest truth. It's what I want to deliver and it's also what I want to receive. So my job as a business owner is really not to just communicate that I'm having feelings, right? Like I am. I'm a human and so are you. My job is to serve you. My job is to serve my people well, right? And so sometimes that means kind of looking at the hard truth and taking some action. So I want to kind of talk about how I'm doing that. I have asked for feedback. I have been sending newsletters and explicitly said, please reply. Tell me what you're looking for. Where are you in this moment? What are you feeling? What do you want? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you looking for certain things? What would feel supportive at this time? And I also even asked, what would you pay for it? Right? That's another part of my job here. So what I came to, what I actually had already come to months before this and was actually already very much a part of my program, Money Bootcamp, is moving people out of a sense of overwhelm and into action, right? It's very tempting to just gain more knowledge, and some of us get stuck in input mode. But actually, what you want to do is move into action. You want to go from knowing to doing, right? Now, I've put a lot of things in place with my program that actually make that the way that it operates, rather than just being a bunch of courses that you feel guilty you never watch. That's not what I want at all. That's not how I want to serve you. What I want is for you to actually get the info you need and take action, right? So you may have read my book. You may have downloaded a resource off my website. You may have come to a free class, right? And learned a lot of things from those. And that's great. I'm really happy about it. But you want to make a change. Ultimately, you want to do something differently. And that means you need to do something, right? So I'm explicitly calling on those of you who are ready to take action, ready to move into doing the thing. And the goal of my program now, as it always has been, is two simple outcomes. I want you to set up systems to make your taxes and money simpler. And I want you to build a nest egg, right? Those are the two outcomes. That's what I want. What's interesting about taxes is that they're cyclical. They happen every year. And in fact, when you're self-employed, you have to pay quarterly taxes, which means that they come 4 times per year, right? So it's actually less about gaining a whole bunch of knowledge. Rather, it's about setting up some simple systems and getting into a habit, a cycle where you do certain things, right? So, of course, you want to automate those things wherever possible. That makes sense, right? I find that the more you automate your money stuff, the more space you have to focus on serving your people, fulfilling your mission, making your incredible thing that you make, serving in the way that you want to serve, right? So automation is really important, but there's also a doing component. So my program, Money Bootcamp, it's different from my book. It's different from my free classes because it is the place where I deliver those tools and where we go from knowing into doing, right? That's the difference. And so I am establishing something new in Bootcamp. I'm really excited to teach you about it in this free class that I'm hosting tomorrow, which you're welcome to come to. But one of the things I'm going to be talking about is all the changes that aren't actually that dramatic, but I think these are shifts that are very meaningful. I want to talk to you about what I'm shifting. So first of all, co-working. I'm bringing co-working into Money Bootcamp. This is going to be monthly co-working. Now, what other thing do you do that happens monthly, everyone? Say it with me. Bookkeeping. So there's a natural rhythm that this echoes. I also plan to do some special co-working sessions, and one of them is coming up in March. It is a tax co-working session. So it is a place to actually come, sit your butt down, and do your taxes. So it is less roadmap, right? And more road trip. You're actually getting in the car together, right? And we're going there together. This is to help you stay accountable and actually do the adulting you already know you need to do, but to do it with a friendly, calm presence who's an expert guide, and actually to do it with some of the wonderful community that is a part of the Sunlight Tax audience. So I'm super excited to share with you what my vision is for that co-working. There are dates already on the calendar. We already have them planned. We already have the invitations written. But I'm so excited for the tax co-working session, the monthly co-working sessions, which are either for bookkeeping or for whatever other adulting you want to do. Maybe it's about calling your bank and finally opening that IRA that you know you want to open. You just never get to it, right? This is the place you go and make that phone call, right? Many of you have asked me for a community component to Money Bootcamp. I've had struggles with this because there's legal issues about opening people up to talking about their taxes in a public setting. My license really has some restrictions around that where I can't do that in the way other coaches can. But I've been thinking through the ways that I can make that possible. And so I'm going to be implementing some community with just regular meetings through co-working. And I'm so excited about this, some live events. So I'm going to start the live events in the 3 cities I am in the most. Now I realize you may be coming from a place that is not that, but the 3 cities are Boston, and I actually have an event on the books for late March in Boston, New York City, and Asheville, North Carolina. All right. So if you happen to be within striking distance of one of those places, once per year, you're going to be able to meet up in person. And this will be lovely, especially if you have been coming to the co-working sessions and already getting to know some of these lovely, creative, black sheep business having humans who are also in boot camp with you. So I'm super, super excited about that. I'm also thinking about a retreat. We'll see if we do a retreat in Asheville. If you don't know Asheville, it is one of the most beautiful, special, artistic, small mountain towns on the planet. It's where I call home, and I would love to show it off to you. And I'm also going to be offering, if you're listening to this and you're a bootcamp alumni, I'm going to be including some special communication for bootcamp alumni with some special level up sessions just for you, partly to re-engage you with bootcamp. And some of it is if you have graduated to give you the next steps. So there's a lots coming. I'm really excited to share details with you. Oh, I forgot to say also there's some workshops. I'm going to be doing more live workshops. Teaching is my happy place. It's what I love to do. It's how many of you found me in the first place because you came to one of my tax workshops. I just love breaking down high-level, complicated tax and financial concepts into really simple, actionable steps for you. So I'm leaning into that strength, that thing I love to do and you love to receive, and I'm going to be doing more live workshops. One of them is the one I think makes the most sense to have, which is a business setup workshop. What are your steps? Where are you by default? What should you do first, next, and last? What do you need to do? What's optional? What does it cost? What does it cost to maintain? How much effort does it take to have an LLC versus an S Corp, right? What are those things? Do you actually need one? There's so much bad information out there on the internet. I want to be there to give you that filtering out the noise and tell you what you actually need to do and what you can forget about, right? So that business setup workshop, I'm super excited about. That's happening in April, but I'm super excited to tell you about it. So to summarize, I think I am looking to lean into my own strength, teaching, being a great human, community, and the wonderful people who I serve and love serving. I want you to get to meet each other because you are freaking awesome. I can't wait to feel the vibes of a group that is meeting on a regular basis. And I can't wait to feel the transformation that you're going to feel when you know every third Friday, you're going to sit down and do that thing you find hard because your friend you just met is going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to set the mood and make it feel doable, right? I can't wait for you to learn more about the teaching, the co-working, the live events, the live workshops, and the in-person sessions. And also just to teach you a little bit, to demonstrate some of that teaching in a free class. So if you're interested in that, I am teaching a free class tomorrow called Make Money Easier, Starting with Taxes. It's a free class, 1 hour, lunchtime, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. If you'd like to sign up, you just need to save your spot, and you can do that at go.sunlighttax.com/free. I have simplified this class. I've made it more streamlined. I've made it more obvious that is for not just artists. It is for anyone who has a business, who's earning some income and wants to know how to handle their money so that it feels easier, so you can focus more on the work that you love. Okay? So come to the free class tomorrow, and I'm excited also to talk to you about my program and how it's going to deliver to you that transformation you are looking for, moving from knowing about this stuff into doing something about it. Okay? So come to the class, go.sunlighttax.com/free, and I hope to see you tomorrow in class. Can't wait to talk to you there. Bye. Thank you for listening. If you like the show, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. It really helps. I'm so grateful. My tax guide, Taxes for Humans, is available wherever you buy books and at sunlighttax.com/book. This podcast is for education and entertainment only. Nothing in this episode should be taken as individual tax or financial advice. You can find all the tools, books, and links I reference at sunlighttax.com/podcast.